Hey guys, Dark Sea Bro here, and today I'm going over the full Season 8 balance patch notes. I was gonna wait and watch a video on Flats doing it and then decide if I wanted to do it, but I actually, kid you not, already got mad between like the first two buffs, which is just Emma's and Deadpool's nerf. Um, I didn't even make it to the end before I was like, yeah, I'm gonna voice my opinion real quick. And yes, you can disagree or whatnot. I feel like comparatively, I'm not as influenced by, YouTubers and streamers. Like Flats is a good tank player and all. And there's many other good DPS players like Samju, even Necros is still kind of good as a DPS player. You got Day, you got team captain or whatnot, but like the issue with these people is they're not they're not average. Okay, that's like yeah, they can go to characters and be average, but them themselves they play at a level that isn't basic, and I feel like I play at a level that's pretty basic, even though I've been out of basic somehow. I still don't really get how people get to top 500 on the leaderboard without being in one above all as characters. I don't really get that, but to each their own. Um, and if you're wondering why I'm asking this, is because I was a top 500 Jeff player at one point, which is hilarious. Considering that I don't know if those leaderboards implied all Jeffs, like, or all character like people on PC and console, or if it's just console players, which because I was on console, I was a console player. I am still a console player. I am Celestial BP, one trick on PC, but like I was just wondering. Anyway, that being said and gotten out the way, let's go over these patch notes. You got the Ground is Shaking, you got the Monster Kingdom, busy tearing up the front line. Our balance team has been hard at work tuning up the rest of the roster. Mr. Fantastic is stretching out his damage potential, and Mantis is bringing a whole new pace to the game. So this is what I already didn't like. Keep in mind, I was never one of those people who thought Tank Pool was good. Like he's okay, and yes, he can live. In fact, I think I have a video saved where he literally was just kind of bouncing around, and he was able to like stall point because he's just bouncing around. Now, this does not make him that good in any sense because if we would have CC'd him, he would have just died. But because we didn't have any real CC, we couldn't really stop him fully. And that's also fine because I also was Deadpool too, but I was heel pool, so I was just bouncing around as well. Now, there's a lot of things that I don't like that they keep doing. And as a basic person, I didn't like that they put a cooldown on the jump tech. No offense, techs should not just be deleted. Like, I get it, you want to bring balance to the team, but like Deadpool's Beyblade tech as DPS pool was not broken. You do not instantly win games because you did the Beyblade tech. Like, it's just not how that works. And honestly, even though I wasn't able to do it all the time, having a cooldown on my jump kind of prevented me from being able to because sometimes I would accidentally do it. Like I kid you not, I would accidentally do it because I'm trying to jump, thinking like I'm trying to like get back, like jump off them, and then I thought I had to do that before I could launch at them again. So sometimes I would actually accidentally start Beyblade taking on them, where I just like wait me, and I wouldn't even kill them. I just be like it just would. It felt like I was getting a rush of adrenaline. You know what I mean? Like, and first off, the others can't even do it. So I don't even know why they put a cooldown on it. You can't even do it with the other ones. All it did was basically make it worse to try to get your 5 or 7 hits with sword form so that you could pop so that your sword ultimate is actually good. Cause the longer it takes for you to get that jackpot, the worse Deadpool is. And they already nerfed him, and now they're nerfing his gun ultimate, And it says healing provided, which means this is healing to Deadpool, by the way. Not healing to his team. This is healing to Deadpool when he's in tank form, making it so he can survive. And they halved it. Then they made it to where his standard gets slightly nerfed and made his upgrade, which as you can see was 42. 36 to 42 is 8 whole damage per shot. Keep that in mind. That's 8 whole extra damage, and they nerfed it to the point where it's barely even noticeable from his normal attacks before it was nerfed, which is terrible. This is absolutely bad game design right here. Deadpool was not that good in tank form to where nobody was like, oh my god, his damage is crazy. This is actually insane that they're doing this. Emma Frost. We're buffing Emma Frost, but nerfing Deadpool. Yeah, because, we totally needed the lady who can stop every ultimate in the game, stop ultimate from happening in the game to have a buff. Well, we nerfed the guy who has to just bounce on you. Yeah, that makes sense. Now you can spend longer time without having to hit an enemy before your charge goes down. You also get to reposition way sooner, which means you can put up your shield, and if you miss putting up your shield, you can put it up again. Then, not only that, but now the damage reduction goes back up. When it was down, it goes back up a little bit. Because we obviously want her to take even more damage while another guy gets nerfed. Thing now has a little more health for no reason. Then I've never seen that and thought, yeah, Thing, you know what Thing's missing, guys? More health. The guy who does a quarter damage per L2, per punch to your face. Now he can do it a little more. And he'll get more bonus health. Yeah, that's what we needed. That's what we needed, dev team. No offense. And I know Guang Guang doesn't do the balance patches. It's that one other guy and his team. And I'm not gonna lie, they were not cooking. Like, I'm okay with giving buffs to characters, like Emma can get her buff, but the only person who really needs a nerf is Thor on his damage of awakening. Like, why is he not getting nerfed? That man can like 3-shot people as a tank. Yet we're worried about Deadpool? Oh my god. That's just abysmal. This is why I said, and keep in mind, if you play PC and you're like, tank pool is crazy on PC, this even proves. I made a video previously that said they should make PC buffs and nerfs different than console buffs and nerfs, because on console, tank pool has never been a threat. He's somewhat a threat, like he's okay, but he's not really a threat. He's just not. I've never lost a game because tank pool existed. I mean, granted, like, yeah, there was that one time, like I said in the previous video, where me as heal pool and them as tank pool were just surviving, but it was more or less us just moving around too much and bouncing around that actually caused us to survive. And, you both were playing out of our minds. And it was up to the rest of our team to figure out which, basically, it was a point where both Deadpools were stalling point. It's whoever's team is better wins. And unfortunately, their team was better. We even had one guy who was Thing who could have stopped them, but went AFK. So literally, it was only due to an AFK. So like, yeah, tank pool isn't that good because we beat his ass like so many times too. So Iron Fist now has a reduced cooldown because he needs that totally, and it's barely anything. Like, look at that. Look at that. It's barely anything. I mean, he does a little more damage, I guess. Who on his first kick, he just does a little more damage, I guess. Reach crowd control is getting a bit too oppressive, so no, he wasn't. But I guess we're going to see how bad my boy's getting nerfed. He does slightly increased Slightly increased punch. Okay. Keep in mind, he's only gaining 5. He has reduced. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. So he goes. So they remove the slowing effect. However, the charge time for each use. So now he doesn't slow you anymore. So you can just keep running from him. And all it does is give you slightly more of a cooldown. Or so you can use it more often. Not that it doesn't really matter if they can get away. You know what I mean? Like, they can leave the scene of the crime. It doesn't exactly matter. Because that was awesome. That part was awesome. That's literally it prevented Daredevils from running away. It prevented Spider-Man from running away as easily. And you could fight, that's how I was able to fight Thor. And now I can't do that? Oh God. This is terrible. And what I got in exchange was now I can do 5 extra damage. And I can use my ult slightly more often. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh God. The first time I see Mr. Fantastic on here. And it's not awesome. It's not awesome. Mr. Fantastic is one of my favorite characters to play outside of healing, because he's one of the very few DPS who, like, you can be a tank if need be and also a DPS. But not in the same sense as like Star-Lord, where you're actually doing damage. It's more of a sense like you're just spreading damage evenly and while also being like a semi-tank. And you're telling me, instead of fixing his ultimate to where he's actually a threat, they made it to where you can use the non-lethal ultimate more often. Wow. I can't wait to use my non-lethal ultimate way more often for it to be ignored. In fact, if you ever play with a Mr. Fantastic, most times they will tell you that their hope is that the healers hear an ultimate and they panic. And they panic ultimate. That's the only way for Mr. Fantastic's ultimate to get value. I've actually seen Susan's and Cloak's ignore me while I'm bouncing on their head. Like, I'm bouncing on it and they don't give a damn. So whoever made this patch for nerfing characters, like, I need to like talk to them. I will bring a translator if necessary, because they were not cooking. They were not cooking with these nerfs as of right now. Let's see. What about Moon Knight? Khonshu demands swift vengeance and has reduced Moonlight Hook. So now I can grapple away faster. So Moon Knight, the guy who can solo an entire team on console, that gets banned every season, basically banned almost every game I've seen so far. That guy just gets a buff, and he can leave the scene. He can leave the scene sooner. But Mr. Fantastic, oh my! And I know that the nerf is only from some console, some PC gamers. They said that they've been looking at tweets and posts. So I know for a fact they definitely watched a PC gamer probably just cook on Mr. Fantastic. And then someone clipped him and then put it in a chat or Twitter post or something. And then the rivals team saw that bullcrap and were like, yeah, this is the way. Like, hell no, it's not the way. It is not the way. Damn, now I'm mad. Phoenix, okay, let's see. Jean is shifting her focus. We're cutting her explosive AoE to make her direct attacks feel far more lethal. Okay, this one's okay. Increase cosmic flames, direct hit damage. Okay, so it's a buff. Cosmic flames is that L2 if I'm not mistaken, right? That's the move where she like does the little pillars, or is that her primary? I'm pretty sure it's the pillars. I think it's the pillars. So now, if you put it directly under people's feet, they'll die even faster. Kill. Reduce explosion damage when detonating a spark. Dev note: without damage bows, Phoenix can no longer one-shot a 250 hero with a single mark. The increase to her primary attack damage makes her far more threatening in baseline combat. So wait, is it not? Is Cosmic Flames not the the AOE pillars? I might be mistaken then. I've never really, like, again, this is a PC nerf right here. This is what we call PC nerf. I've never seen a Jean Grey on console be threatening. I mean, there's like maybe one, okay, like maybe one or two I've seen that are actually like, wow. Like if that Jean Grey is in your lobby, she's going to cook you. But this is a PC like change right here. Like she's only threatening on PC. That's really it. No offense, she's okay on console, but like I beat her ass every time when I go on Spider Man. And keep in mind, I play Spider Man like a gold Spider Man in Grandmaster Plus lobbies. I'm playing against Jean Greys, who are a lore champion, whatever you want to call it, and I play Spider Man against them as if I'm in a gold lobby, because that's just how bad Jean Grey is on console. You can't flick as fast. You can't basically on PC you could probably react a lot more, react a lot faster. But on console, with you having to use the stick to aim and not just your hand and actual hand-eye coordination, it's way, 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 way worse. That's why whenever people are like, "Wow, console players, you have it easy." No, PC players have it easy because you get to aim. Your aim superiority gives you way better than some aim assists. Yes, you get aim assists, but it's like at the same time you still have to somewhat move your slow cursor, even if you or up your sensitivity and try to get used to it, just to match what a flick of a hand can do. Keep that in mind. A flick of a hand is way easier to do than trying to up your sensitivity and getting used to the upgraded sensitivity just to play the game. So yeah, keep that in mind. With that being said, um, Spider-Man is getting a buff. Looks like his ultimate is going to be able to kill you slightly faster. Slightly, which is pretty good. I mean, I don't really. I guess now he's just gonna. Spider-Man players are just gonna do what they do. A lot of them do best, and that is poke you until they either poke and kill you, or they'll poke until they get their ultimate, and then only kill you with ultimates. That is me, by the way. I'm one of those Spider-Mans who usually only kill with their ultimate. I have gotten kills because I do the yo-yo combo, or the bread and butter. And I'm still trying to learn a combo that I saw used on me by a console player. But I will figure that out when I figure that out. But yeah, so like obviously I can do some of those, but like those are rare for even me. And obviously like those are the really only ways I get kills. But or if I have Penny's team up. However, now I guess I'll just this is just gonna insinuate more ultimate killing and less, actual damage killing. Okay, but that one's I'm okay with. Doreen now slightly faster. Reduce cooldown on Mammal Bond. Mammal Bond. Is that the L2, or is that when she eats the acorn to reset her cooldown? I feel like that's the reset cooldown, right? Is it? Or is it the bounce? I don't even play Squirrel Girl enough to understand which one it is, because I don't really care about Squirrel Girls. She does a lot of damage, but it's like, like if you just play a dive, you could probably kill her. As long as your dive understands who they have to fight, and then, or they force the entire team to try to protect a Squirrel Girl. Okay, Star Lord, yeah, because we needed to buff him. Yeah, well, I'm a Lord Star Lord, and I don't even think we needed to buff him. But now he can shoot more. That's so cool. He gets to shoot more now. He has to get his ult charge even faster. Is what I'm hearing. Might as well make it that because we hate supports, I guess. Okay, let's see. Wolverine. Okay, reduce the trigger of it. Okay, this one's actually good. I do like the wood. I like Wolverine used to be so much of a beast, and to the point where they had to cook him, and now he's coming back. I'm okay with this. I'm actually okay with this one. That one's really good. Like I think Wolverine actually he needs one of these because his cooldowns were like 5 ever, bro. It was not that serious. Now, okay, and here we go. Strategist. Can't wait to see how many nerfs we see here. Sue is losing a bit of her knockback and damage to help balance the overall control potential of strategist comps. So now she pushes far less, which means that she can only fight back. She fights back a little worse now. This means Spider Man is going to be eaten real good. Daredevil is going to be eaten real good. And Wanda might not have to end. If that means if Wanda ever gets Gambit ulted, she now will be able to say heck nah to that Susan. That's kind of funny. So that's gonna be kind of funny. Yeah, or that just means that you're gonna Susans are gonna have to pray that their timing is now godly. We love to see this. That this is sarcastic, by the way. This is again another PC probably exclusive. I mean, like I've gotten pushed by Susans before. It's probably more like hurting when you're like a strange, but like if you're playing strange and you're not looking at cooldowns of your enemies, then you know what I mean. Like honestly, I'd be way more with this if they just made the cooldown of it like longer. They just gave her a longer cooldown instead of decreasing the distance. She should, in fact, give her more distance, longer cooldown. You know what I mean? No, don't do it the other way. Don't make it to where she does less at defending herself. Make it to where she defends herself better, but it just takes longer. So she actually has to do it when she's defending herself, and not when she's just in an inconvenient spot. Like make it to where that's the case where it's more actual defense and less I'm in pain. You know what I mean? Like it's Susan. Keep in mind she cooked Malice. His whole backstory lore is that she's basically the version that cooked everybody. She is the Punisher that told the universe. She is the strongest Fantastic Four for a member for a reason, and you're telling me she does worse at being the strongest? Make it make sense. I'm sick and tired of people being like, oh, it's because you're a strategist. It doesn't say healer. Everyone's role, everyone's role, if it was legitimately just what their role was, Thing wouldn't do that much. Would need a nerf on his damage. Thor would need a nerf on his damage. Like all these vanguards should only, in that case, should only be good at getting hit in their face and blocking damage. They should do no damage in that case, and they should only block. That's all they should be good at. Blocking and displacing. If we're going based off what everyone keeps getting mad at strategists for, then because they're always like, Luna does too much damage, Susan does this too well. Well, in that case, DPS should have barely any health. They should only do a lot of damage, and that's it. They shouldn't be able to survive because they're DPS, damage per second. So that means that's what damage per second means, DPS. So that means they should only be good at doing that. Vanguard should not be able to do any deep. All Vanguard should do 1 damage per second and just have a lot of health or a lot of defense or something like that. And the healers should do no damage in that case and have no survivability but can heal real good. There we go. That's how everyone wants it apparently. So we might as well do that. Because I don't know why we're taking away. The whole point is that Vanguards mean that their guard will also they gotta they put up the vans. They put up the vans to block the path. So therefore they can go back, smack people, displace people, do a bunch of damage. DPSs or duelists are supposed to duel, so they're good at like attacking and also duels you also run away, so they are good at escaping. While strategists, the whole point is that their name is supposed to be that they make strategies to protect their comp. And a lot of people's strategies is to push people and defend themselves or fight people. That's a good strategy. Hence the name strategist. Not healer, strategist. Man. And it does less damage. Cool. So now it's even more less of an inconvenience. You get sent away less and you take less damage. Wow. Now let's see. Look at Loki. God Mischief is leaning more in the support role. Okay. So his mystical healing ratio goes back. That's back right away. They put it back, and they reduce damage even more. So just in case you're wondering, Loki didn't really receive a buff. He only received a further nerf. Loki's healing was already at 100% before, with his damage being higher, and now look at them. They literally just all they did was give him back his healing instead of removing it, and then they now made it to where his damage is worse. So they're just that was literally just a nerf. They put him back with healing and then nerfed him. And his ultimate takes longer. He now is going to struggle to keep up with some healers. That's and DPSs. Oh my god, yeah, because we totally needed that, bro. Oh my god, bro, I need them to like actually interview a strategist before they start bringing in anything. Like they need to. I think what they need to do is instead of looking at posts and just going based off posts, they need to make it to where they actually interview people that specifically play a role. Like, by all means, let me into the strategist field. Let me in. Like, let me help y'all control these strategists and buffs and nerfs, because clearly y'all cannot do this. I'm not gonna lie. As a strategist player myself, there is no reason we're buffing Rocket Raccoon and White Fox, but we're nerfing Loki. We're just nerfing Loki, despite what it says. We're nerfing Loki, who's okay on PC. He's okay. He's okay, and on console, ever since people started blasting those little, the lamps, his primary isn't even that really dangerous. The thing that made him dangerous was that he did 3 times the amount of damage to your face. That's why people had to get rid of clones and why people started playing Phoenix, is because those clones could just pop you. So you actually had to be aware of the popping. And I liked it when people actually had to be aware of their surroundings instead of just looking forward. It made the game a lot more fun, and whenever I would come across people, I came across way more people who were mechanically higher than a pencil. But now I guess we're going back to just getting trounced again, even though dive has been really prevalent now, to the point where I've had to play Ultron or heal pool just to survive. I can barely play my Jeff anymore because everyone does overpowered damage while Jeff got no buffs. In fact, has only received a balance rework and a nerf. Keep that in mind. And so, yeah, with more divers, by the way, no way to defend himself really anymore. And the only reason why I can play Ultron is because I can somewhat it makes it more inconvenience to get a dive in Ultron. It doesn't make it impossible, it just makes it more of an inconvenience on console. And whew, don't even get me started with why I play heal pool. The only reason really, I mean, heal pool is fun and all, but the main reason I play heal pool is because the healing is actually just significantly worse because everyone complained so much about it to the point where it's just not, it's just hard to heal. It's hard to heal. And like some of you might disagree with that, but like if you don't believe me, like let me know what rank you are, so I can and how much you actually play in that role. Like cuz I have basically I've lorded almost all the healers except Susan. Okay? I don't play Susan, I don't touch Susan, and I barely play Cloak and Dagger because she's too easy. But I've played Mantis, I've played all of the niche Adam Warlock, I've played Rocket when I'm angry, but I play Jeff, I play Ultron, I play Adam, I play Heal Pool, I play even White Fox and Loki. I only play Gambit because team ups and stuff, but yeah, like you get the point. I play all these other healers just so I can see like what their kit offers. And the issue with healing is like because there's so much dive and the healers aren't as good, you have to make a choice of whether you're just gonna die a bunch and pray that your team actually supports you, or you heal each other, and that means that your team will die because you're healing each other to survive. And this is what's been a known issue is people complained about healing so much to the point where they nerfed healers, and yet I keep hearing so many times that about like we don't have enough healing. And it's like if you wanted more healing, okay, you know what I mean, like I'm playing as best as I possibly can. But when you have a Daredevil, or a BP or a Black Cat beating up on my Luna that I barely can get every so often, or my Susan, like who can't defend herself because y'all keep complaining about her being able to fight back. Yet every time I've seen Susan, she's struggling. Like pick a struggle. Do you want us to heal y'all better or do y'all want us to die? Which one? Like, pick one. You can't have both. You can't have them both. You can't have your cake and eat it too. And honestly, I don't think I'm gonna be straight up. And even though I hate Susan and Cloak and Dagger with a burning passion, put them back. Put them all back. Remove, fix it. Fix them all. Fix all of them. Like I'm okay with the rework on Jeff. I got over it. It wasn't a buff, but hey, I'll take my water doing 1 damage to my enemies now. I'll take it, even though his healing was way better, and he could hawk Tua better, and he could die. He could move around better. Like I'll take the new Jeff. Okay, I'm okay with that. I've made do with the nerf that was unnecessary on the pools. I've done that. But one thing we can't sit here and pretend is that like the healing didn't just get worse. Like they haven't just been targeting the healers for the past few seasons. And yet people complain about triple healers when it's like if there was better healing, triple healer wouldn't exist. In fact, I'd be an advocate to say to buff all the healers back to how they were in their primes, and any healer that's kind of coming back like Ultron or something, buff those healers, buff Mantis, buff Ultron. Make their actual healing outputs way better. You can nerf the damage boosting of their outputs, but buff the healers back to where they were, and buff some of the like side healers up, right? And then instead of just nerfing the healers and nerfing their ult charges, buff the DPS. Just buff them. Buff them. I want my Bucky to be cooking. I want him. I want that armed and dangerous to do 35% of your, like, instead of 25% or 10%, whatever his number is. I want his ult to lock 35% of healer's health bars. I want my Star Lord to maybe be able to get his ult just way often. I want to hear legendary every 20 seconds. Make DPS pool be able to Beyblade again. I want tank pools to be nigh immortal. Make Wolverine's regeneration 1 minute. Make Khonshu be called on speed dial. That's what I want. I don't want nerf healing, slightly more damage, rework Mr. Fantastic. I want the smartest man in the universe to be the smartest man on the team. I want him everywhere. I want him to be able to be in his backline, front line, midline. I want him his ultimate to be giving him bonus health. I want him to be having one of the highest survivabilities. I want him to be able to 1v1 people. I want my BP to where every time he dashes, that spear cooldown gets reduced. So that he can keep dashing. I want that spear cooldown to be every time he lands those spears, his dash comes back sooner. That's what I think buff should be. That's what I really think buff should be. I want my Thor to make people actually behold the God of Thunder. Not just because he awakens, but actually making it to where if you're in that ultimate, you die. No matter who you, like, as long as you're not a tank, you're dead. I would like my thing. I would like to remove the CC antis and CC, that new CC mechanic, so that my boy thing can just stun you for longer. And make it to where he gains bonus health on every hit, regardless if it's R2 or L2. Yes, make it to where when he charges into enemies, for every enemy he hits, he gains bonus health. Or a slight reduction in cooldown on any one of his moves. Or he gains more bonus ult charge every enemy he hits while charging, doing his charge move where he tackles people. That's what I want to see. I don't want to see this garbage that I'm looking at right now, where it's like, we're gonna nerf healers, we're gonna slightly nerf DPS and buff tanks and nerf some of the tanks that don't even need to be nerfed. I want to see that. That makes it way more intuitive. Like, and look at this. Mantis now did damage boost. Oh my god, it was that low. That's barely anything. 8%. Oh my god. 8%. Didn't hers used to be like 20% or something, or 40%? I could have sworn she had like a high add number for her damage buff. And now it's 8%, but now provides a flat 100 movement speed. With Ultron now having access to conventional damage buff capabilities, he needs to carve out a more unique functional niche by adding a movement speed buff. So now you can. So now when you buff a dive DPS or yourself, you now move faster. So now you're gonna have a Speedy Gonzalez ass Mantis running around, and if she buffs a Magic Black Cat, Dino, or Daredevil, they're gonna be moving at Mach 10. Yeah, because we needed them to be moving at Mach 10. We needed faster characters in a situation where people already hate speed. Like, you know how much time I get complaints about BP being like super fast? Like, if we're like, and now we're just making everyone faster? Like, we do not need niches. Mantis is a niche in on herself, and so is Ultron. Rocket Raccoon bombard mode. Hit damage per projectiles. That's his R2, right? Wait, no. Rocket is upgrading his arsenals, putting out more damage, tossing out more heals, dropping his ultimate faster, which we didn't need. He gets his ultimate already pretty fast. And now, if I remember correctly, he now does. Yeah, look, keep in mind, he had the same ult speed as Loki, and now he can almost, if you're really good, you might even be able to outpace a Loki. That's actually insane. In fact, his base one before the buff is higher than is now going to be higher than the base one of Loki's, and is going to be way better than the new base of Loki's now. So he does one more damage, is what it seems like. He does slightly more, like one hit more damage on his R2. You increase repair mode charges. Is that much? How much bonus health? No, is that how soon it shoots out the little health packs, or is this repair mode charge, or is this the one where he like it's not his jetpack, right? That this is the repair mode charges means like when it shoots the things out, right? The little health packs in the from your beacon, if I'm not mistaken. I'm pretty sure it is that. I'm pretty sure, but I could be wrong. Or maybe is it like charges to your ult? Reduce the energy cost is just not necessary. But now let's see White Fox. This is terrible. Increase healing. Yep. So now, whenever she goes into her melee form, she now heals for more. She gets to cool. I get to have a DPS Fox even more. We'd love to see this. Reduce the burst healing generated from each successful. Okay, so now she sucks at doing the DPS, but they're still gonna do it even anyway. So that's not a real buff. That's not a real buff, by the way. That's not a real buff. You can clearly see that's not a real buff. Because usually I go into attack mode to heal people. Like, that's, like burst heal them. So now she's just going to be worse at healing doing that. Because keep in mind, you could attack way faster than you could with. Because even though it says 25 to 35 a second, it's actually worse because you could hit way faster per second because you could melee weave. You could do your R2 into an L2 instantly, or do R2 like L1 R2 L2. Like you could combine. Like you could do your L1 dash, do the flip, and then L1 again, pull them somewhere while R2ing into an L2. Like you could literally hit 3 buttons and it would be like do. Like you jump at them, leap behind them, dash do. And that's like 3 hits. That's 3 forms of healing in a second. So, like, you know what I mean? Like, we observed that White Fox healing output was too high. Wow! Wah! Bro, that's wah! Slightly lower her intense burst healing when spamming attacks. Yeah, like, see, they even said it right here. This slightly lower. So that proves that, like, no one's going to survive from her aura. That's not going to help anyone. You need the burst healing was necessary because that was the way people survived. Passive healings do not help people succeed in living. I know this because I play Ultron and that's all Ultron does is passive healing. That's exactly what Rocket does. Passive healing. And people still can die easily because passive healing is it's terrible. But I can't wait for people to blame me. Crease blessed by the 9 duration. So if I'm during that's not that's the ability, right? Where you click on someone. Not when you do your smack. Okay, let's see. What's happening with Chilling Assault, Iron Fist, Emma Frost? Increased diamond spell from field. Oh, okay. So it's the wall from 9 meters to 12 meters. Increase barrier placement. Oh no, iced out diamonds. Wait, no. We're boosting on the trees so they can freeze the competition. The chilling assault is that means he has a bigger radius when he becomes heel fist, right? And barrier, or is that just the wall? And they basically added a Groot team up, the Groot and Jeff team up, but now it's actually slightly better because apparently whatchamacallit, Punisher takes reduced damage or something. Like he like shares damage with the Dino, which Groot's team up doesn't even do. Yeah, this is terrible. This is a terrible. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. This one's like bunions. Like there's some good. Like the Emma Frost is good. Iron Fist is something, I guess. Mr. Fantastics is terrible. I mean, like cool. Yeah, honestly, they remove the removing, and that's it. Yeah, I'll be okay with that. You know, if we just remove the fact that it nerfs him a slight bit, I guess I'd be okay with it. It doesn't really fix anything, but I mean, I'll be, I guess, happier. You know, because it's like he doesn't need a nerf ever. Like, honestly, Mister Fantastic is one of those few people that where like you just been so bottom tier to the point where like you gotta like really be good as him to play him. You never see a person swap to Mr. Fantastic as a form of threatening, and he still won't be swapped to Mr. Fantastic as a form of threatening. This only helps the one trick Mr. Fantastic players, and for all of you, like I'm not one of you, but know that like I tried to be. Like whenever I go on DPS, I wish I could be one of you, but like it just hurts to play him. Like, and this is proof right here. It just hurts. Like I know if you're looking at this as a Mr. Fantastic player, you're just like, damn, like really? It was not that serious, you know. It's not that serious. Moon Knight, yeah, I know y'all are like just glad that y'all didn't have to get nerfed, even though you can call the moon pretty often. You know, and y'all do absurd amount of damage on console, but you know, now you guys can run away faster so you can leave the scene of the crime quicker. Y'all are probably happy. And I can't really tell about jeans. Y'all don't really exist on console, so yeah. And Spider-Man's, yeah, you probably happy. You know, you get to do more ult damage for those of you that are less skilled. And I guess you too, Squirrel Girls. Y'all just got to get a buff, I guess. Star Lords, yours wasn't that crazy. So, you know, it is what it is type situation. Wolverine, y'all needed y'all's, but y'all should probably deserve a little better, in my opinion. Just a little better. Um, make it to where you can increase like the build up charge is my opinion. Or like honestly, I'd even say like if you don't want to increase build up charge as a game developer, make it to where at least maybe you can gain a little bit of build up charge from environmental damage. That would be something cool to see. Is like a Wolverine breaking the map to gain charge. That'd be awesome. That'd be awesome. Like I'd love to see that as a form of tech. Like you need to destroy this wall before you get over here, and then you can jump these guys right here. Like that would be a form of tech that I would love to see. There's so much like I want to see more wall destruction like use. You know, make it to where certain maps actually benefit from having certain characters by like, you know, Wolverine destroying that Kingpin map where that little secret wall entrance. Maybe he can use that to build ult charge instead of it just being destroyed so he can go dive or do his DPS duties. Like I'm not even gonna lie, like that'd be cool. Or on that one Winter Soldier map, he destroyed those moving barricades that pop up every 2 seconds. He could destroy those to keep his charge up so that he can go into the next fight not at zero. Like that'd be awesome. Like, or like he destroys a group wall, right? His own teammates' group wall to build charge a little bit. Yeah, so that he can go into, like I said, go into his next team fight not being at 0%. This would provide actual teamwork gameplay, possibly, and also would provide new skill ceilings for the characters. This is how you like. Not no offense. Like, obviously, I don't got the budget to say I can, make a perfect game or whatever. But hey, man, I think this is how the game should go. If you agree, you agree. If you don't, then you can let me know. With that being said, I'll see you all in the next video. Peace out.